week of Daily Planet. I'm Dan Riskin.
And I'm Zai Tong. We have all kinds of incredible stories to kickstart your week. We've got another mind-bending question straight from the lips of the Mythbusters themselves.
That's right. Jamie and Adam are back for the last week of Mythbusters Mindbenders, and you can even win a chance to meet them in Toronto.
And we're also going to check out the Vortex gun. It fires gas rings like mini tornadoes. And we've also got snakes on a plane, but not like the movie.
No, it's actually very clever. You're going to like this. But first, it's Monday, so we're kicking things off with our Road Warriors segment, and this one's about a 6,000-kilometer car rally.
So you would think, right, that, you'd want to get a good, sturdy car, maybe throw a little cash into it, because it's up for a big challenge, but that's actually not the case.
No, the Dakar Challenge is not an ordinary race, and the competitors are not normal racers.
Imagine a car rally where it's not really about winning, but just surviving.
Go, 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 go! Well, a bang car rally is buying the cheapest possible car that's got maybe a 20 or 30% chance of making the finishing line.
Push, 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 push!
And a car that looks utterly disgusting.
He's an artist with duct tape.
10 teams from around the world are taking the Dakar Challenge. The goal is to navigate these clunkers for 3 weeks and 6,000 kilometers through Spain, Morocco, and even the Sahara Desert to the finish line in the Gambia in Africa. And for our heroes from Canada, it's a mechanical and mental challenge of the utmost proportions. Jeff is the master mechanic for Team Carina.
I think one of the toughest things for him is going to be to accept the fact that he's going to have a lack of control over his environment, because I don't think he's used to that.
Ilya is the manager of Team Carina. He asked Jeff to join him on this adventure.
I'm definitely nervous about being on this trip with my boss.
Jacob is heading up the other Canadian entry. Jeff will act as his mechanic too.
Thank God we have, because I'm sure, and cut to us in the middle of the desert somewhere, desperately trying to get a car started. And of course, we're all going to turn to Jeff and expect him to be able to do it. So thank God that he's here. God bless him.
First stop, England. Priority number 1 is to inspect their car for the very first time. It cost a whopping $700 Canadian.
Cars at these kind of prices aren't exactly the most sound vehicles.
The gas smell sets off warning bells.
I'm really quite concerned about a fuel leak, as fuel is flammable and so is my skin.
Next, the bare necessities. And there's barely any agreement between them.
I'm frustrated. Jeff is bringing a garage with us on this trip.
The tension between us was I had a list a lot longer than Ilya of things to be prepared for.
Jacob and his car have now arrived. Ball tires were his first concern. Jeff is on it. The 2 teams will stick together.
Good. I think this one will actually make it.
As they cross the Strait of Gibraltar, the rally is officially underway. In Marrakesh, Morocco, the busy narrow streets are only part of the problem. Even the GPS is overwhelmed.
We're in the middle of madness. This is Morocco's heart of darkness.
Outside of town, the Atlas Mountains and a dramatic change of scenery. Now their first taste of desert life, and the first serious challenge for the cars.
Suspension-wise, that's where it's going to start getting a little bit damaging for the vehicles. The roads are going to get rougher, and the cars are going to take a beating that way.
And gas will be at a premium in the desert. The boys fill up the jerry cans as they get set to head into the Western Sahara. Jeff is now even more stressed.
I always like to have things kind of mapped out and which way things could go, or to be prepared that way. Which, this trip, we don't even have a map.
But even his GPS couldn't have mapped out his next challenge. Someone filled the Avensis with diesel instead of petrol.
I thought we knew the difference between diesel and gas, but I guess we don't yet.
The Carina tows the Avensis to a remote location where they can siphon the diesel.
Well, you guys filled it right to the top, didn't you?
It's Jeff to the rescue. He has to make sure the diesel is completely burned off the spark plugs. Now, will the car start? The team has learned an important lesson, but Jeff isn't taking any chances. Now the heat is really on. The desert leg of the rally is in full swing. At the Morocco-Mauritania border, they must drive through an old minefield.
I have no idea what to expect with this minefield, and I don't think we're going to be getting a guide.
One thing he should have expected, another issue with Jacob's Avensis.
What's up?
This time, it's the engine light. Jeff discovers the oil is way down. Thankfully, it's just a simple top-up. As they get set to enter the open desert, the teams meet up with guides who will help take them through the deep sands and inhospitable conditions. But nothing could prepare them for what was to come. Just a few hundred kilometers to go, but fuel is now dangerously low for the Canadian teams.
There's a difference between crazy and stupid and having things thought out. And things aren't thought out at all. It's just winging it, which is not smart. Taking a big chance and maybe an early trip home.
And in this terrain, they're often just spinning their wheels. Jacob hopes that letting some air out of the tires will help.
But releasing the air and flattens out the tire gives you a little bit more traction on the sand.
Teams rally together to get each other through the deep sands.
Clutch all the way out, wheel straight.
Push, push, push.
Woo!
Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Fender Bender springs Jeff into action once again.
The guy's just been working miracles. I'm really glad that he's here. He's just been awesome.
Good mechanic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Finally, the main road. Both Canadian cars made it. The ride through the busy streets of Senegal is a stark contrast to what they've gone through in the desert.
Bam! 4,000 miles from London all the way to somewhere in Mauritania.
And under the cover of night, the rally cars board the ferry that will take them to the finish line in the Gambia.
There's the whole sense of, I guess, accomplishment or fun on being able to make it the entire 6,000 kilometers on a vehicle that's barely hanging together.
Yeah, a few moments, but nothing that we couldn't handle. Mechanically and mentally, really. And it was pretty cool. It's a cool challenge. Would I do it again? No. That's a pretty crazy race.
Indeed.
Okay, anyone who's ever driven a remote controlled car